Hey, what's up, y'all? It's poppin'. It's D. So reporter D is back, on another case. So several of you have told me to speak on this whole DJ Akademiks situation. So apparently he is being sued right now for defamation and for sexual assault. And y'all said, "Oh, speak on this. He's guilty. He did it. What you got to say about it? We want to hear about it." So I looked for some videos pertaining to this situation, and I could not find any good videos, and more importantly, I couldn't find any videos where people actually knew what was going on. I have watched Akademiks for several years. I'm very familiar with the drama in his life and the tea, to be honest. So I'm like, I might as well talk about this myself, okay, and come with receipts and show y'all what's happening with this situation. So let's start from the beginning. First, let's go over the allegations, okay? So back in 2022, Akademiks went to a party. He was out drunk, okay? He is in contact with this woman that he's dealt with for some years. He tells this woman to pull up to his house, after the party. He's been drinking. His friends are with him. They've been drinking. They all go back to Ak's house, all right? And apparently the woman pulls up and she's saying that she was assaulted at Ak's house. So let's go over some details of the lawsuit, all right? So she says that she was assaulted multiple times at Ak's home, first by two men who drugged her and then by Ak himself. She says on July 16th, 2022, he contacted her, invited her over, and she pulled up not expecting any ill intentions. All right. She says she arrived. She was met by the two men who she did not expect to be there. She claims the two men drugged her drink and plied her with alcohol before assaulting and R-wording her on Ak's pool deck. Allen is Ak's last name. She says the drugs impacted her memory and caused her to lose consciousness. She claims she was later woken up around 4 a.m. In a bedroom by Ak. And she said that he was pulling her hair, prying her legs open, and brutally assaulting her. She said he penetrated her anally and vaginally, and she was begging him to stop and was crying for most of this assault, but lost her ability to move physically. The following day, she asks Ak for details about what happened the previous night. He shows her a trash can that contains 2 condom wrappers. So she's thinking that, the guys must have taken her into another room in the house and continued to assault her brutally. She then says that Ak showed her surveillance footage of the alleged pool deck attack. This is where it gets interesting. So Ak has security cameras all over his house, inside and outside. So according to him, he looked at the footage the next day and he saw her engaging in an orgy with his 2 friends, okay? Or threesome, getting a train run on her, whatever you want to call it, okay? So according to her, she watched the video and she said she looked like she was just laying there lifeless, which she said did not sit right with her. She then says that Ak told her to get tested, and she said that he said he would too. She also sat for a recorded wire call with Ak, during which she claimed he graphically recounted and admitted to having sexual intercourse with her, even going so far as to describe her vagina. Okay, and this led the cops to obtain a warrant for the surveillance footage and other evidence. She later claimed that Ak disposed of several items, bed sheets, etc. at the dumpster near his office. Presumably, Mr. Allen was attempting to destroy the evidence of her assault. Okay. She says despite taking her allegations to the police, she chose silence and decided not to press charges. Her decision to bring the lawsuit comes after the allegations were brought to light at the end of 2023, after both she and Ak addressed the incident on social media. For more details, you guys can look into this lawsuit yourself. Apparently, there are over 30 pages of her giving details about exactly what occurred. But these are things that stood out to me. All right. First off, this is a lawsuit. Okay. So charges were not pressed. And she admits that there was surveillance footage that was confiscated from Ak's house. The cops looked at this footage and they decided to move on and said, there's no case here. There are no charges to be pressed here. Let's move on. I find that to be very interesting because she's saying that she decided not to press charges. That's not how the law works. If the cops witness a crime taking place, they're going to take action and charges will be pressed, whether the victim wants them to be pressed or not. That's how that works. So I find that very interesting that they saw the footage of the incident taking place, of her being assaulted according to her, and no action was taken. Okay. And we're going to look at some text messages. So y'all can check out this actual video for yourself, but Ak goes over the whole situation. He gives lots of detail about what they talked about and, the information behind these texts. But basically, this is her texting Ak after this took place. She says, "I'm sorry, terribly, terribly sorry." He said, "I don't know what you want me to say." LOL. You won, I suppose. She said, "I never meant for all that to happen. I know you can't ever look at me the same." So, you're saying you got assaulted, but you text the person who you're saying assaulted you, and you tell them that you're sorry? And you're saying that, oh, you can never look at me the same, but he assaulted you? That doesn't make any sense. This just directly contradicts what she's saying. And I understand some people may argue, well, victims, they're confused after situations like this happen, and she could just be saying anything. No, let's not do that. This is literally the exact opposite of what she's claiming in her lawsuit. She's apologizing because her and Ak have dealt with each other for years. So I don't think they were ever in an actual relationship, but they, had dealings. So they talked for years off and on. So he admitted in the video that he was salty seeing her fuck two of his friends on his pool deck. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to go that far." And he like, "All right, I don't know what you want me to say. You won, I guess." She then says, "I think I should talk to someone about this." And he says, "What you mean?" "I feel really sad and I think I should talk to someone about it, like a therapist or something. I'm hurt really bad. It's unlike me to do this, and I don't even know the other guy's name, so I was just laying there." Okay, so he never responded. I guess she called him. He like, "You called?" Seems like he's not even trying to talk to her. He like, "What you gotta say?" "I'm considering going in for a R-word testing kit for us to figure this out, because it's bits and pieces I remember, and I'm still not okay." So to give further context into this, Ak talked about how when he saw what happened on the security cam, he basically slut-shamed her or whatever. I forgot what he said specifically, but he was basically like shaming her for what she did. And then she kind of started to lean into this. Like, "Oh, wait, I don't remember what happened." Because he said initially when he talked to her, before he even told her he saw the tape, he like, "Oh, how was last night?" I passed out. I went to sleep, which we'll get to in a second. So while all this is going on, Ak is saying that he was asleep. Like he was passed out drunk from the party that he was at. So he came home, fell asleep, and she pulled up because he did invite her over, and the friends were up like, "Hey, what's up? Party, drink, whatever." And she ended up fucking the friends. So yeah, when he talked to her, he was just like, "What's up? Like, how was last night?" And she like, "Yeah, I had fun. It was great." That's what she initially said. He like, "Oh, it was great, huh?" "Yeah, I looked at my footage." Because he said what made him look at the security cam is because he walked outside and he said that it was like liquor everywhere. It looked sus. And he said the chairs were like turned in weird directions. And he like, "What the fuck happened out here while I was asleep?" So he went and checked his cam. And that's when he saw her getting, them having a three-way situation. All right. I don't be disrespectful because I don't know the exact details. I'm just going based on what's presented in front of me. So after she says, "It's bits and pieces, I don't remember, I'm not okay," he says, "Not sure what you want me to say. That's why I asked you while you were here if everything you did while I was sleeping you were okay with doing, and you said yes, so I don't know." And yeah, that's something else that he mentioned. He said before he even told her he saw the tape, he asked her, "Yeah, did you have a good time?" She said, "Yeah." And he also was like, "Did everything happen how you wanted it to happen? Everything good?" Because he just see her, on the footage having sex with these two dudes. So he's just like, this is a little odd. Like, is everything okay? And she like, "Yeah, everything was fine." So this is what he's referring to in the text. So he said, "That's why I asked you while you were here if everything you did while I was sleeping you were okay with doing, and you said yeah, so I don't know." And then she says, "I was passed out for most of it, but I wake up now and then also. I was in shock. I got most of the information from you. Before then, I never met the other guy, so I guess he just took the opportunity, I guess. And he said, that's why I told you I don't judge. Just trying to make sure you made the choice to do whatever you wanted to do. He's still trying to check in with her and be like, just want to make sure that you was okay with doing that. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. That's the vibe that these messages are giving. She says, always with you, but not this time around. I blacked out. I remember you waking me up during the night. He said, they say you were trying to call and bring your friend to join in, LOL. By the way, in reading any of these text messages, does this sound like something a victim would say to their abuser after they just got brutally assaulted by them the night before? Let's just use common sense here. Does this make any sense that she would be talking to him this way? Like he was not responsible for anything. I don't know. Then she said, no call was made. I assumed they leave at some point. It was just kind of awkward. And I mentioned I wanted to come with my friend to meet you, not to have sex with your friends. Again, she's just mentioning the friends and that she had sex with the friends. He got mad at me saying everything with Ak has to go through me first and a whole bunch of creepy stuff. He said, I don't know. I'm getting two different stories. LOL. I didn't ask him about anything about that night until today. Once again, the way that Ak is speaking, he was not involved. He's getting the story from her and the story from the friends. It's clear he's stating that, okay, look, I don't know. Like, I wasn't a part of that. So again, does this sound like someone who assaulted this woman? She says, I wish I could see the entire video, how I got upstairs after the pool and when the other guy got naked and on top of me. Everyone was gone when I got up. Ak says, I have no idea. I haven't watched any of it other than when you were denying it happened. I'd rather not, LOL. We don't have a choice because they're going to ask me all that and I don't remember that part. Who is they? I just mean the doctors. I don't know how this works, if a statement has to be taken or what. I don't want this to happen to any other person like that. Ak says, I'd rather be kept out of stuff like this. Def don't want to be the middle person because everybody got different sides. She says, that's true, but it happened at your house. I don't have to lie about anything or make up stories. Once again, she is not speaking as if he was a part of the assault. This doesn't make any sense at all. So you had this conversation with him. Clearly, it shows that he was not a part of it, that he's getting the story from you and from the friends, but you're claiming that he was a part of it and that he came to assault you at 4 a.m. after the friends were done. It just don't make sense. He then says, yeah, but I got no parts to do with what you guys did. Again, stating his innocence. She's not disputing none of these things that he's saying, by the way. She said, I guess you won't be helping me to figure this out. That's okay. I know I'll need help because this is too much for just me. If he assaulted her, wouldn't she be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You came in at 4 and you did da-da-da-da to me. Like, what? And then he says, of course, if I can help, I will. But I was sleeping for the whole thing. LOL. I don't know what your interactions were. And then she said, let's see what they advise. She meant advice. So, again, if he wasn't sleeping, if he made all of this up in these text messages, wouldn't she address that? And even when you look at the dates, they line up with her dates as well. So these look like very legit text messages. And people are also bringing up this video that has went viral and has been circulating for a while now, actually. But it's of a woman screaming and people are saying, oh, this is proof of the assault. Let's play the video. So people have watched and heard that video and saying, oh, obviously this is the assault, right? First off, let's go back to the details of the lawsuit. She said this took place outside on his pool deck. Listening to this video, you can clearly hear that screaming is taking place inside the house. And you can hear things being smashed. You can also hear a man's voice, like sounding like they're trying to diffuse the situation or like calm down the screaming if you really listen. So the backstory on this, first off, this has nothing to do with the actual assault. I sound like Axe lawyer, but I'm about to go in on him in a second, actually. Alright? Let's be clear. I'm not taking up for nobody. I'm using my common sense and I'm going based on the evidence that's in front of me. I'm being unbiased and I'm being fair to all parties. So the chick that's screaming in the video, according to Ack and according to his ex-girlfriend, that is his ex-girlfriend. These are on completely different days. They take place in different years as well. Okay, I want to say this happened like 2023. It was like last year. The incident with the chick was in 2022. So the ex is very mentally unstable. I've mentioned this before in a couple videos that I reacted to of him and like his crazy ex, but she's like smashed an egg on his head during live. She leaked a whole bunch of personal information about him. She has exposed him many times online on her live and whatnot. So he has had a lot of like back and forth with this woman. But he's not the smartest person. He continues to deal with her for whatever reason. But that is what took place in this video. That was her screaming. She was upset with him and breaking things. And she even admitted to this. And the cops actually showed up and they ended up arresting her. And this goes back to what I previously said. Ack didn't want to press charges because, again, he's slow. All right, so he's like, no, it's fine. Like, I don't want to press any charges. They like, nah, she's breaking the law. Like, she broke hella your shit. Like, she up here destroying stuff. She got to go. So they arrest her anyway, even though Ack did not want to press charges because they witnessed a crime taking place. You cannot destroy like thousands and thousands of dollars of somebody's property and be violent and aggressive and think you're not about to go to jail. So the cops was like, we packing her up. Come on, bitch. So they took her to jail. Okay. So this is what this video is from. So people are trying to connect the two. They're not connected. So in this particular situation, I call cap on what this woman is saying. And anybody can sue anybody for literally anything. It does not mean that it's true. What I personally think that she's doing, I think she's trying to bring a lot of attention to this. And she wants Ack to just pay her off to keep her quiet. But I feel like he has so much evidence to contradict what she's saying. And the fact that the cops saw the footage, they saw the video footage of her having sex with these two dudes and they closed the case and was like, oh, there's nothing we can do here. Let's move on. That should be very telling. Because if she was getting assaulted, they would have went to jail. Somebody would have went to jail for that. And nobody was arrested after they saw what took place. They saw the footage. Obviously, Act can't release the footage, but they saw it and they're just like, you know? So I feel like that should speak volumes. And again, if you even want to go back to the video, if people who are trying to connect the two, if that was taking place, that was the woman and she was screaming inside getting assaulted, that would have been on the video footage and the cops would have saw that and obviously they would have took people to jail. So again, those were not connected. So there's that. Okay, people wanted me to speak on this situation and those are all the details that have been presented to me and that is what I feel is taking place. I feel like this woman is lying and I feel like she's trying to get some money out of him, to be fair. And we're going based on what is available. I'm using my common sense. I'm going based on the things that I've heard from Ack over the years. And it's not just me taking his word, but it's connecting the dates and shit as well. He released that video showing the screenshots, the dates that he released, which was from months and months ago. It lines up with what's on her lawsuit that she recently filed. It's the same dates. So I feel like those text messages were legit. And that doesn't sound like somebody who got assaulted, like by Act in particular. Maybe she did get assaulted by the two friends. I'm not saying that didn't take place, but again, even if that did take place, wouldn't the cops have arrested them when they saw the video? If she's saying that she was there lifeless and like not moving, they would have been like, oh, what the fuck? This is our word. Like she's clearly passed out. Like y'all going to jail. That's considered assault. If you have sex with somebody and they passed out, not moving, their body's lifeless, like she claimed. So that's why I call cap on what she's saying. I don't believe it. So I do think that in this particular situation, Ack may be innocent. But let's move on from that. I will say, I think Ack might be a fucking weirdo. I don't know, okay? I don't know for sure. But the signs point to him being a little off. Something ain't right about him. In the words of Soul Illuminati, it's something we don't know about him, okay? So I'm going to present that information today as well, in all fairness and to be unbiased. And I also want to put this out there because I don't want nobody coming back to this video in the future just in case something does come out about Act, something else, and people are like, oh, CD, you was defending him about this situation, but look, he is weird. This is why we're going to present all the facts, all right? I think something's off, and I'm going to tell you why. So Ack has made a few questionable comments, okay? one of them in particular has went viral a while ago. So this came out a while ago, and to be fair, it was taken out of context a bit, but what he said still was fucked up, and it really made me side-eye him. I feel like this was a huge red flag, and he was talking about this because he was defending Tyga's relationship with Kylie. I'm pretty sure. Chat niggas, if you hear, sound off in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure he was defending, that relationship, and saying that, in college culture, like, things like this happened all the time. So I'll play the clip so you can hear. But the situation with Tyga and Kylie was disgusting. Tyga was 24 years old when he was dating Kylie, who was 17. That's some full-blown pedo shit. Ain't no way you're trying to excuse that. But this was his way of excusing that.
And keep it real, if you think about it in the bigger scheme of things, there's not much difference between a 20 or a 17 or a 21 and a 17. Just kind of mean one's a minor and one's not a minor. But I will say, listen, I adopted this rule, which I think it was fine. I said, listen, man, as long as a chick got a college ID, she's getting f***ed. I don't care if she's 17. I don't care if she's 17 and a half. I don't care if she just turned 17. She's going to get this dick.
To be fair, people did use this and twist it, and they made it sound like he's saying, as a man in his 30s, that he would sleep with a 17-year-old if she has a college ID, and that's not what he was saying. He was speaking in terms of college culture and saying that, if you're on a college campus and you could be like 21, 22, even sometimes older, 23, some niggas be on college campus forever, all right? It's like, damn, nigga, when you gonna graduate, all right? So it's people who are older in college, but you also have people who are young in college as well, because they either are ahead a grade or two, or they're just super smart. I have a cousin who started college when she was 16. So basically he was saying that, in college, when you have parties and shit, you meet people, you're not asking for no ID, which is true, but that does not make it right. That's still some pedo shit. If you overstayed your welcome and you still in college at fucking 24, 25, but you like, this girl, she in college, so it's cool, she might be 17, all right, I'm still fucking. That's still disgusting. So he was trying to excuse that and be like, it's okay, everybody on college, right? No, just because we're all on this college campus doesn't mean that it's okay. So I side-eyed this super heavy. But again, people did take this out of context. He wasn't saying as a man in his 30s, he's fucking a 17-year-old. That's not what he was saying. But he still was, in a way, supporting pedo activity. So this is why I think he's a weirdo.
The context. And this is what's important. At no point did I ever say that I fucked somebody under 17 or...
Capto, you said in the clip that this is something that you practiced.
But I will say, listen, I adopted this rule, which I think it was fine.
I adopted this rule, which I think it was fine. So don't try to twist it and be like, I never said I did it. Yes, you did. You said you adopted the rule. So basically, when you was on college campus, you was like, all right, if she here and she got a college ID, she go here, all right, she getting fucked. I don't care if she's 17, 16, whatever. I think that's weird.
Did I ever say that I fucked somebody under 17 or under 18?
You pretty much did.
I was given an example of how, and I want to give y'all this example before I play this whole clip. I'm going to play the full clip. I said in college, I said 17 becomes a gray area because people don't ask for IDs. There's some smart, or sometimes people start kindergarten early and they'll get to college when they're about to turn 18, but they'll turn 18 in January and they get there in September. When somebody's in college, and just like I say with high school, when somebody's in high school, if a nigga was in high school, I know somebody, and maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'm just going to be real. I know somebody who he had just turned 18 and he was dating like someone in a lesser class. This is high school. There's people who end up being 18 in high school. I was talking about being in an institution, so college or high school, where the ages are a little bit out of what is actually acceptable, right? And this is what I have to tell y'all, right? Somebody just said 4 months of the college year, some people are 17. It depends on when you're born. That's all I was saying.
So very, very creepy, very weird for you as a grown man in his 30s to be in support of that type of behavior. Just because it took place does not mean that it was right. So for you to still be like, it's not that big of a deal. A 17-year-old with a 20-something-year-old. If y'all are all at college, like, what's the problem? What's the big deal? That is a very, very weird thing to say. Ak has also kind of excused Drake during this whole thing. He's been kind of skating around these pedo allegations and trying to make things seem like they're not that bad. when it comes to what Drake was doing. Also have side-eyed him about that. You can check out his videos and how he's been, defending Drake and all of this, with Drake being accused of pedo shit. Also, Exhibit B, all right? His ex-girlfriend, the mentally unstable one, the crazy one, we're going back to her. So she was on her live and she said that Ak had underage girls in his house.
This and that. We were on FaceTime and I said, okay, I'm going to talk to you in person. I'm about to pull up. I fall asleep in the Uber. He's calling me while I'm in the Uber. I guess he's telling me not to pull up. I pull up to the house. I have a key to the house. And when I pull up to the house, it's two young ass bitches in the crib. Like, I asked them personally, how old are y'all? Because y'all look mad young. They said 15 and 16.
So this woman has exposed him on multiple occasions, and someone could watch this and of course be like, well, how do we know she's telling the truth? She could be lying. She has exposed many things about him, and when people were calling her a liar, she has come with receipts to back up some of these things. So it makes me feel like, okay, she's at least telling the truth some of the time. So one of the things that she showed was like pictures of his stomach. She said that he had herpes. She showed his medication for, I guess, some of the STDs he has. So she was exposing that. She also exposed his ID. I'll show a picture of it. I don't know if I'm supposed to show this. So maybe I'll just show kind of the outline so y'all can see I have the picture. But you can do digging and find it yourself. It's not that difficult to find if you do some digging on Google, okay? But she posted his ID, and you can see her holding the ID. So it's not like, oh, she photoshopped it. First off, she don't sound the brightest, all right? She don't know what the fuck she doing. I highly doubt she would even know how to do that. But on top of that, in the picture, she's holding his ID. So Ak, for whatever reason, claims that he's younger than he actually is. But on his ID, it says that he was born May 17th, 1989. So that would mean that Ak is about to be 35. Oh, damn. This woman came out with this lawsuit right before his birthday. When this is uploaded, it'll be the 15th. His birthday in 2 days. Damn, she's brutal. But yeah, so Ak is about to be 35 years old. And I think it's just so interesting because he does age shame women a lot. Like he age shames Nicki Minaj. He's age shamed Carisha. So he does make slick comments about women getting older and say how they're 50 years old and they're washed up and they're this, and that. And it makes sense if he's into young girls that he would have that sentiment. And it's also very common, men who prey on younger women, they are always saying they're younger than they actually are just because they want to appeal to them. Even if it's only a few years, they feel like, okay, this makes me a bit closer to them in age, so they don't feel as creepy. So making me side-eye him, okay? And on top of this, there have been several screenshots that have been floating around of Ak being in communication with like 17 and 16-year-old girls. Apparently they have come out and exposed him and said that he's been in communication with them, trying to sleep with them. And my whole thing is, like I said in the Drake video, where there's smoke, there's fire. So it just makes me side-eye him because there are several, incidents that involve him being associated with young girls. I do think he's a very, prominent voice in the hip hop space. And, I'll give him his flowers for that. But I'm just side-eyeing him because I'm like, something ain't right. All right. So I want to put that out there because, again, if some do come out about him, I don't want nobody being like, CD, you was wrong. No, because I said I felt like someone right. I said I fucking felt it. All right. But I don't have any solid proof, so I'm going to just, put that out there, and you can, take it how you want to take it and do your own research and do your own digging if you want to find those, interactions allegedly of him talking to 17-year-olds online. And this is not the first time the ex has mentioned him being involved with the younger girls as well. And she's even outright said it out her own mouth, like, yeah, he liked young girls. He met me when I was young. So, again, take what you want from this information. Also, she accused him of being a pedo, basically saying that a 15 and a 16-year-old was in his house. This nigga was still dealing with her after she made this allegation. And it's like, bro, if you fucking with somebody and they completely lie on your name and say that you are a pedo, like that's a crazy accusation to make, you gonna still fuck with them? Either he's the dumbest man in the world or there was some validity in that. And he probably just like, hey, why you tell my shit? Why you tell my business? You know, because I'm like, why would he continue to fuck with her after? Because he definitely continued to talk to her. He might still be fucking with her now. I don't know. But I was following her on Instagram for a while because I'm nosy. All right, I was following her on Instagram and she was definitely still, you know, around him and in his house and shit after she made these allegations. So I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on? Okay, got a lot of dramas around his life. But anyway, those are the details. That's all the information I have on this particular case at the moment. Details are pending for further information. Definitely add to the story if you like. Any chat niggas out there, if I said anything wrong, definitely feel free to correct me. Because, you know, like I said, I've been watching ACT for a while, so I feel like I got most of my facts straight, if not all. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I'll see you on the next time. Bye.